it doesn't fit. It just, I need like a couple inches more on the side cases to get it, to jam it in there. So that was good too. I like that, because you don't like to have a backpack on when it's hot. So anyway, we're heading, we're on Harwood here. We're gonna head towards Rigo, and then I might zip. Anyway, I know a few, I might not record the whole thing, but yeah, bike is running well. I find the oil consumption is high, so I did take it to the dealer. The check oil level came on again. That's twice in 5,000 kilometers. I know it's 5,000 exactly because that's when I got my 20,000 service done, which I did almost 22,000. I got it done. I was a bit late. And I've put in about 1.5 liters of oil. Now, if that consumption continues at the same level, that's like 3 liters in 10,000, which is when 10,000 is when you do the oil changes on this. So anyway, for warranty purposes and so forth, because my warranty is up, it's a 3-year warranty, so my warranty is up later this year. But it's almost 3 years I have the bike, so basically they brought it in the shop, they put it, and they wanted to confirm that the oil level was good, which it was. So I'm not an idiot, or I might be, but at least I know how to put the right level of oil. So they checked it, they took the mileage, they put it all in my file, they put all the notes that I had burned this much and this much. So now if the light comes on again, I'm not going to touch it, and I'm just going to bring it to the... When the light comes on, you still have oil in the bike. I'll check to make sure that it's just low, and it's not like, you know, something didn't blow a leak or something. And if it's at the minimum, I'll just take it in, and they're going to check it, and then they're going to make a decision. So, and I know Boxer engines, they have a reputation. They do burn a bit of oil because of the design, and even sometimes you'll see a puff of smoke if it's been on the side stand for a long time. So anyway, besides that, I have no complaints. And anyway, they're going to be announcing the new models, and I'm still kind of torn because I like this. Feels a bit sportier because I like the aspect of a naked bike for this kind of thing, for like Sunday morning ride. I like the naked bike, or the commute. I'll wave to a Spider if you wave at me. I'll be polite, but it's not a motorcycle. Yeah, you know, the commute. You know, I like the lighter bike, naked. Oh, that sound. But on a day like, you know, I took a trip with my son. My neck is sore now. Well, even if I fix my shoulder and my neck, I think even if I get it to where I don't have pain and I can have full range of motion and I have strength back in my left arm, I think I'm always going to be prone to that type of injury. So you do notice a difference coming off a bike with a full fairing and then getting onto a naked bike. You really notice a difference. Just not necessarily a bad feeling, but you do feel the wind and you feel everything, which is part of what you like about a motorcycle. But anyway, the BMW has announced all the colors and the minor changes to all of their bikes pretty much. Excuse me. For 2019, they had their event in Germany, Motorrad Days, but there was no details about the new RT. So that's the Boxer engine touring version, the R1200 RT. So all the rumors and everything is pointing to that. For Euro 5, they had to work on this engine for Euro 5 emissions compliance. So they've seen spy photos. The heads look different. So basically, it's the same engine, with variable valve timing and some other tweaks. Horsepower, it's 125 horsepower, the current liquid-cooled model, and they said, the salesman I know said he's thinking 140 horsepower, just to bring it in line with, like, because this engine, remember, this is also in the GS Adventure, which are one of their biggest selling bikes. So they're bringing it in line with, like, the new Tiger 1200. And, you know, Ducati Monsters, in a way, have, but they have more horsepower than that. I think it's 160. Hello. Cute. So, anyway, I don't think the bike needs more power. If it gets more power, I'm like bonus, but I think I've never felt the need for more power. I notice a difference between, yeah, when I get on a Ninja H2 SX, yeah, sure, you feel the difference, but anyway. So, all rumors is that this time the new engine is going to go to the RT first. What is this person doing? Wow. Last time when the liquid cooled came out, the GS and the GS Adventure got it first. So, I don't know. It's all looking to that, plus new S1000 RR, which a lot of people didn't think because they just came out with the HP4 Race. Anyway, so that's the bike I want. So, if it does come out, we'll see what it's going to cost. Hopefully the price is still, I don't know, about the same. And, yeah, well, I see. So apparently TFT dash LED lights, I mean. So basically I think they've gotten most of the bugs out from what I read on the internet. The GS and the GS Adventure, you have the big TFT option, the big screen. I would think that they would have to make the screen a little bit of a different shape to match the fairing on the. Anyway, it's going to be a minor facelift looks-wise, I think, and it's going to have the new engine. So that's what I want to test drive, and that's probably the top of my list for my next bike. That being said, I'm still going to try the GS Adventure. I'm going to try GS Adventure next month, September. In Saint Eustache, they're having a BMW demo day, and then there's another one in Quebec City, which is, well, it's a couple-hour drive, two and a half hour drive. So we'll see. So I still want to try GS Adventure, and I wouldn't mind trying a K1600 GT, and just to see. Not that I really want a GT. I'm pretty sure it's a good bike. I'm very sure it's a good bike, but the maintenance costs are kind of scary. Not oil changes and stuff, but when you need your your valves checked, basically the whole front of the bike, all the fairings have to come up because it's an inline six canted towards the front of the bike, so that's where your cylinder head is, and it's just a lot more work to get to the heads, whereas the nice Boxer, the heads are sticking out in the air. So you save a little bit of labor. Anyway, they're good bikes. But and that TFT stuff, I'm sure it's going to trickle down to all the bikes. I think the new the 310s, they have a semi. They don't have a TFT. They have an LCD display, I think. That's one thing on this bike. I really don't like the dash that much. I prefer to have, I don't know, something a bit sportier. Like a digital speedometer and a tack. I like a tack. This has got the bar tack, and it's not even colored that it goes around like that. It's just the. Well, I could put it in the other mode and it's a bigger, but eh. But at the time, it was actually, you know, there wasn't all that many with really nice displays. So maybe a couple of the KTMs. The Super Duke had the first was starting to get some nice ones. So. But if they can make the connectivity a little bit better, and I'm pretty sure that's a solved thing, that would be pretty cool. Don't mind me, I need to itch my nose. bike behind me, just noticed. No, it's turning. So it's not that bad when you're at speed. It's not so bad. Well, it's just, I don't know, it's like a swamp. Not quite Florida levels, that's later this week. I don't know, I've tested a few bikes now, and I can see the good and bad points in all of them, but when I get back on her, it's like, just feels right. Anyway, like I said, I'm not in a rush, but I know that whenever I get my next bike, it's going to have a fairing. It's going to have wind protection. So, and I don't want to spend like 30K on a bike. So a GT, K600 GT is pushing 30 grand almost, and GS Adventure fully loaded without the cases is like 29. So yeah, I don't know, I think it'd be a waste buying a GS Adventure if I'm never going to go off-road, and then it's not the best thing for off-road, but I guess the occasional trail or something, but then you give up, you know, you have 80% tires on it. So on that street, and I've seen guys, they put like the tires I have, so sport touring tires on a GS Adventure. But I guess if you like the look of a GS Adventure, you like that industrial or rugged, like you've just done the Paris-Dakar or something. If that's your look that you like and you're comfortable, But I know you can't order it with sport touring tires. You could get 80% dirt or 80% road. I think that's what you can get. I mean, I love the look of the GS Adventure, don't get me wrong. I think it's badass with that huge tank, and when you got a good set of, it comes with LED lights, but when you have a few, 2 or 4 of the auxiliary lights, that's, it looks serious. But I've never driven one, so, and I need to drive one with low suspension, which they probably won't have at an event. But I could put the seat on low with a low seat or something, and I can kind of get a feel for it. And maybe a low seat is enough. Maybe that's, they'll bring it low enough that I feel comfortable, because it's a big bike. It's 640-ish pounds. So, well, it's gonna be nice out today, and I'm not complaining about the heat. I'm going on the record to say, I just stated it's going to be very hot and humid. I am not complaining about it. It's beautiful weather. My pool is getting, I think my pool is getting more use than it's had in a long time. Last summer, it just didn't seem like it was a really long summer. And we had crazy rains all spring and floodings, and this summer took a while to get going. It was still a bit of a late start, but man. So if I go that way, yeah. So this is, I'm just tootling around, and I wanted to make a bit of a content to put up on the old YouTubes. So, oh, you know what? Let's go. I'll go straight and go up through Rigo. Okay. Basically, this is the 201. I'm going to go all the way around and I'll be back on to the 201. I forget the street, but anyway. This is pretty much an industrial road. There's nothing, this whole stretch, there's just some farms and there's like a quarry or a dig site here. It's not much. Yeah, so it's maybe getting topsoil and stuff, but it's pretty desolate. But most of it is nice pavement. So there. Now we're on the old. So you can get some good speed there, and I've passed a cop once where he was going the other way, but so there's still a chance I get stopped and they look at my exhaust. If they stop me for something else, they could always say, "Hey, that exhaust, that's definitely aftermarket." So basically, a stock exhaust has a stamp on it that says it's legal for road use or something. There's some EPA or anyway, there's some certification stamped right into the metal. And aftermarket exhausts don't have that. So even if I were to get a full, like buy a new BMW, get full Apocalyptic, full APO exhaust, it doesn't have that stamp. So some people, if you don't know the law, that bump, you'd be like, so whenever you buy your bike and you say, oh, I want the exhaust directly from BMW, or even Ducati, you get the full Termi exhaust, which sounds beautiful. And if you don't specifically tell the salesperson, he might not tell you. So then, you know, a couple of months later, you're out on your Monster or one of these bikes, and you get stopped for something. And they're like, oh, here's a $300 ticket for your exhaust. It's not conform. It doesn't conform. And you're like, what the fuck? I bought it at the dealer. It came, you know. So in their eyes, it's like, I mean, some people drive motorcycles. They're not technical people. Some people don't know about this is aftermarket, this is not. They know how to drive a bike. They don't know how to fix it. Not everyone, you know. I have a mechanic background. I was a car mechanic before. Like, not everyone's like that. Some people, like a car, it's the same thing as a car. Just because it's a motorcycle, a guy can go buy a Ferrari doesn't mean he can fix it. A guy can buy a Kia doesn't mean he can fix it. So they don't know. So if you don't know to ask the dealer and you don't know that there's laws, you probably think, yeah, there's a law. I mean, I can't drive my car without a muffler. If my muffler's hanging off, I might get a ticket for making noise if I'm driving around with a broken exhaust, right? But if you buy you don't know if it's factory. You think it's factory because you bought it from your dealer, so you think it's factory. It's not like you ordered it online and you know it's aftermarket. So anyway, that could be a rude awakening, because then you don't even have the stock exhaust. Sometimes you're buying the unless it's dealer installed, maybe they give you have to tell them I want the stock exhaust. Anyway, I could see if you don't have rumble, if you don't have the stock exhaust, it's not like, what are you supposed to do? So now you have to take off the $1,000 exhaust, because like a full Termi or even just a can Pakrovik for BMW, it's like $1,000. So then you have to what? Go buy a stock exhaust. So yeah. So I guess the safe thing would be, if you're going to buy an exhaust from a dealer when you buy a new bike, tell them you want the stock exhaust. If it doesn't ship, if you're buying one off the showroom floor and it doesn't have the exhaust and you're getting the exhaust, say, well, you want the stock exhaust, you paid for it. I just like people to make informed purchases and decisions. So. Well, there's tons of people who put super loud exhaust on their bike, and that there's a whole, I'm on a Facebook group, and that's all they do is bitch about the police, saying they're being harassed because they put any illegal exhaust on their bike, and they get stopped. Nice Indian. But they're getting harassed, you know, like, I don't buy into that. You know, you're not supposed to remove the reflectors off the bike. You're not supposed to tint the lights. You're not supposed to move the turn signals so that they're integrated into the tail light and they're harder to see. You're not supposed to do any of that. There's laws. So don't, be upset you got a $1,500 ticket because you modified everything on your bike. Be upset, sure, it's a lot of money, but it's not the cop's fault. Could the cop let you go? Yeah, there's always cop judgment, but if you have one little thing wrong, I've gotten tickets lowered, I've gotten away with speeding tickets, and I was speeding, I was in the wrong, I was on the service road of the highway, it's a 50 zone, I came off the highway, and I kept doing like 80 or 90, I got stopped, I had my kids, we were just going to the store, and the cop looked, he checked all my paper, make sure I had no warrants, and you know, it's not stolen or anything. He said, okay, well, you know, you should really remember to slow down when you get off the highway, and have a good day with your kids. Like, and I didn't ask for that or anything. I've gotten speeding tickets on the highway where they've knocked it down a bit. I've gotten clocked at like 133 in a 100 zone, and he knocked it down. He says, okay, you were doing 120, because after 120 there's a big jump in the ticket price, almost doubles. And that was the OPP, so the Ontario Provincial Police. So I actually cannot remember the last time I dealt with a cop that was an asshole. I have zero recollection. So every time I've dealt with them, I got a ticket on this bike, and it was my own fault again. And he was laughing almost. He's like, you didn't see me? I'm parked right in the open, and you didn't even slow down. I'm like, sorry. I said I was enjoying, because they did just pave this bridge, and I was watching that, and there was a bunch of birds. It was in the spring, I think, so the bunch of birds sitting in the low rapids. I said, no, I was looking at the scenery. And he says, well, you should pay more attention. He says, well, here's a ticket. But he knocked it down a couple kilometers an hour too, so, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm biased. My dad was a cop for many years, so I grew up with cops around, and, you know, I hung out at the cop stations and stuff, but I don't know. It's all attitude too. If you give a cop attitude, well, what do you want? And if you're driving, like, how do you piss off a cop? Be in a residential area with your loud exhaust blapping around, blap, 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 blap. Yeah. That's how to not make friends. Anyway. I haven't been harassed. I'm also a white male, so I don't have to deal with any of the other crap either, so. But these people that I see that are posting and saying the cops are assholes and whatever, sorry. And there's legitimate complaints. You get stopped and they're just, but I haven't seen anyone with a legitimate complaint so far. They go, oh, you got nothing better to do? I go, no, that's a cop's job is to enforce the law. It's not, and he doesn't answer to you to where he enforces that. He has directors and politicians that say, okay, on this morning you're going to be at this corner, this street, doing checking for stop signs or checking for speed, because they have residents that complain. Just because you think that a loud exhaust is not a problem doesn't mean that the rest of the world doesn't. So, whoa, that was a big piece of rock. Anyway. Yeah, the sound of this exhaust is a lot better. And it's not loud. If you were having your coffee on the side here and I went by, you'd hear me for sure, but it's not like a gang of Harleys with open pipes, which I've never seen get an exhaust for, but yeah, let's turn this thing off. There we go. Goodbye. Love you too. Yeah, it's the voice command, which I should just turn off. But it's supposed to work. I have to try it with my son again. If you say hello real loud, it's supposed to St. George. Yeah, I think it's here. Let's live dangerously, boys and girls. Yeah, I'll try the voice control again with my son. I didn't want to wake him up this morning, so he was pretty tired. We had a birthday party for him yesterday, so we had the whole bunch of people over, and yeah, little guy, 13, needed the rest, needed his sleep in, and Mondays he has football camp, so Warzone. Oh, paintball or something. Cool, I didn't even know that was there. Oh, that'd be cool. I haven't been in paintball in forever. Ooh, I remember now. This road is a bit dodgy, but it's nice and it goes through, I guess, around the mountain here. You can see GoPro's picking it up nice. You can see my filthy ass jacket. Yeah. Plus, I haven't eaten breakfast. I had a coffee and I'm like, drank a bunch of water, have a water bottle. So I said, we'll go out, come back, and then do what I need to do at the house, which is not much. It's going to be a lazy day. I might get a bit of spot of groceries. That's about it. And it's play a little World of Warships or a little World of Warcraft. But air conditioning. Go in the pool. Already cleaned up after my party, so oh, it's good. This is Rue St. George, so it cuts across Sucre, so Sugar Shack, maple, maple syrup and all that. So in the spring, you go there, and it's a very crowded place, and you eat French Canadian breakfast and lots of maple syrup, and yeah, it's good times, because we all know the best maple syrup comes from Quebec. So I don't want to hear about your Vermont maple syrup. Yeah. Nice big cell tower there. Yeah, there's some nice little stretches, and you start going faster on one of these corners, and then it's like you hit like major potholes, and this is a real isolated place to live a bit. But what's good is at the end of this road, which is not that far further, is that highway that I pointed out, the 201. So, and you have direct access to Trans-Canada. So if you were to live here, it's pretty. You can get to the highway pretty fast. Put it that way. So that's cool. I mean, unless you're retired or something, or you don't work, then who cares, right? Oh, I have it set to, yeah, it's not on its softest preload. It's one person with gear. Oh, look at the gravel there. Nice. But I'm 190, so maybe that's the right setting. But I certainly wouldn't have the suspension in dynamic mode. Holy crap. That's, on stuff like this. Oh, no. But the RT in soft mode? Oh yeah. That's like a Magic carpet ride. It's pretty good. Wonder if I can pick a destination. It's in there. Did I save it? Back. Recent. See? I was gonna go the other way. Because Grumpy Man gets lost easily. Well, with the GPS, I think there's a limit to how lost you can get. And you saw it was numbers on there. That's when I tried to import something that I made on Google Maps, but that was a shit show. So, the old pen and paper seems to be the best thing. I'd love to be able to set waypoints and stuff, and over the winter I'm gonna try and figure that out. How to do that properly. Car up there. Because I see people do that, and you still have a piece of paper with stuff marked, so you don't, you have a backup kind of thing, but it'd be nice to have waypoints. I can set them manually, so that's... So if I was going to do a trip twice, the first time you can go and... the Bois de Rigaud, that must be some fancy houses in there. Anyway, it'd be cool, and it says like at this, you can set waypoints very precisely, but even then it's not foolproof because, anyway, because of some of this is you're going by, it's being updated, but Google Maps seems to be a little bit more updated than Garmin, which this is based on Garmin. Anyway, it's not the end of the world. I've yet to get lost without, that it's like been a pain. These pants are gonna have to peel off me. Yeah, everything is kind of sticking a bit. When I stop, it will be okay, can I go around this guy? Because he's got his brake lights on. He's riding with 1 foot on the brake pedal. Like, this is pretty straight. I don't think you have to be that worried unless he's looking for an address or something, which is fine. But just, pull over. That's super nice. A little pond. I like a little pond action on my land. Plus, I have my cell phone, so I have Apple Maps, Google Maps, and Waze on my phone. So I don't have any place to hook my phone up, but I mean, I don't have a mount. But I can hear the prompts, which is good enough. So there's the highway. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I've taken this once, so I couldn't remember which way I had turned. I mean, I kind of know where I'm going, but Greystone. They're a big barn. Campground. Yeah, people spend their summer camping. I never understood it because you're in these little campers side by side. I don't understand it, but anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could turn this off. That's a big, some big stables here. They do some of the big events. I think that might be Polo, actually. Yeah, so around the other side of this hill, I think, is pretty sure that's where I'm turning. Ooh, see, it says 24, but oh. Yeah, these are gonna be fun to peel off. Some nice houses here, but I don't know if I'd want to live on a rural highway. I mean, speed limit is 90. That's your front. I don't know, your driveway. Ooh, that's some entrance. Didn't see that before. And we're there. So cool. All dirt tracks here for ATVs. Saint Marthe. And we're just up ahead. Horse country. Yeah, I've driven by it a few times because, like, I don't know, going too fast. Here we are. Hartford. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave your comments. And this is Grumpy Man saying goodbye.